Some people changed the world quietly. No armies, no speeches, no monuments, just a woman, a jar, and a decision that she made every single day to risk everything for someone else's child. Tonight we travel to Warsaw in 1942, and we follow a woman that history almost forgot entirely. Before the war, Warsaw was one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. Grand architecture, cobblestone streets, cafes, and music. A city full of life. Irena Sendler was born here in 1910, the daughter of a doctor, a man who treated the poor when no one else would. When he died of typhus contracted from a patient he refused to abandon, young Irena understood something important. Some people are put on this earth to help others, no matter the cost. By 1939, she was a social worker in Warsaw, quietly doing her job, helping families, finding resources, solving problems. And then the Germans came, and everything changed. In 1940, the Nazis forced Warsaw's Jewish population, nearly 500,000 people, into a small area of the city. They built a wall around it, 3 meters high, topped with broken glass and barbed wire, and they called it the Warsaw Ghetto. Irena Sendler got herself a pass. She told the authorities she was there to check for typhus, a public health inspection. They let her in, and so every day she walked through that gate into the ghetto, and she began to look for ways to get the children out. She used every method she could imagine. Babies hidden in toolboxes, infants wrapped in burlap and carried out in sacks, older children smuggled through sewage tunnels beneath the wall, hidden under stretchers, inside coffins, inside suitcases. Each time she walked out of that gate, her heart must have been hammering, and each time she made it through, another child was safe. But Irena understood something heartbreaking. Saving the children was only half the task. These children needed new identities, new names, new families, new lives. And someday, if the world survived, they would need to know who they really were. And so, she wrote down every name, every child's real name, their family, their history, written on thin paper, rolled into tiny scrolls, and placed inside glass jars, which she buried beneath an apple tree in her neighbor's garden. 2,500 names, in jars beneath the earth, waiting. On October 20th, 1943, the Gestapo came for her, before dawn, the way they always came. They searched her apartment. They found lists. Not the jar. She had hidden that. But enough. They took her to Pawiak prison, one of the most feared places in occupied Warsaw. What happened there, I will not describe in detail. It is enough to say that they wanted names, the names of her network, the families hiding the children, the people who helped her. She gave them nothing, not a single name, not one. She was sentenced to death, and then, in one of the quiet miracles of that terrible time, the Polish resistance bribed her guards. On the day of her execution, she was listed in official records as dead, and Irena Sendler slipped away into the city. She continued her work in hiding until the war ended. After the war, she went back to that garden and she dug up the jars. 2,500 names, still there, still intact. She brought the list to the Jewish organization that was trying to reunite families across the ruins of Europe. Some children were found. Some families were reunited. But most of the parents had not survived the camps. The children Irena saved were among the only ones left. She spent the rest of her life quietly, working, helping, never seeking attention. For decades, almost no one outside Poland knew her name. In 2007, she was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. She did not win. She was 97 years old at the time. When asked how many children she had saved, she always gave the same answer. She said she could have done more. She always believed she could have done more. Irena Sendler died in 2008. She was 98 years old. The 2,500 children she saved, and their children, and their grandchildren, number in the tens of thousands today, because of one woman, and a jar, and a decision she made every single morning to walk through that gate one more time. History is full of people like Irena Sendler, people who did extraordinary things and asked for nothing in return, not even to be remembered. We remember them anyway. History never truly disappears. It only waits for someone willing to listen.